finalists Tottenham head to Turf Moor tonight in the Carabao Cup last 16, looking for a much needed morale boosting victory, and I hope you enjoy the preview. Yes, guys, you know what time it is. Intro by David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, bringing you your Tottenham versus Burnley preview in the last 16 of the Carabao Cup. We are joined by co-host Jack Kanicki, special guest Dermot from Tottenham Tantrum on Twitter, and we will also be joined by Phil Latis and Josh RG as well. But Jack, how are you keeping, my man?
Keeping quite well, David. It's actually been kind of a relaxing morning, just getting prepared to, maybe knock some ass over at Turf Moor, Dave. And then on top of that, get ready for the weekend, with maybe riding off of the win. But again, don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. I don't think it's going to be an easy fixture. Burnley are going to probably really want this, this match. I think they're going to be more of a cup team this year than maybe, focusing on the league. So we might find this to be a bit more difficult than expected, but doing all well.
No, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Burnley, Dermot, how are you keeping, my man?
Doing grand, pumped up, ready for tonight. Another win, another march towards Wembley, and another League Cup.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, my man. Look, Jack, generally, what's your thoughts on tonight's game, man?
I feel like this is going to be kind of a make or break moment. And even on Paxton Road the other night, a bit of a breaking point kind of situation for Nuno. I think Nuno is going to keep his, job if he does well in these cups. I'm just going to be honest and frank about it. Like, he has to do well in these cups. He has to win this match, because if we do fall out of this competition, I feel like that will be a missed opportunity, because no one is really expecting a lot maybe from us in the league this season. And so you might as well, to a degree, prioritize, the cups the best you can. And I feel like this is not a bad way to do it, especially the Carabao Cup. We made it to the final last year. Maybe we can finish what we were supposed to win last year. And as well, again, I think it'd be a bit of a confidence booster, a bit of a morale for the rest of the squad, a bit of a morale for the fans as well. I want to see us do well in the Cups. I want to see us, take those a bit more seriously than we have in years past. So it's going to be a bit hard, Dave, but we'll break it down, with Burnley. I think they will be an interesting team to kind of dissect.
I couldn't agree more. And Dermot, look, what's your quick thoughts ahead of tonight's game? How do you think it's going to go?
I think we'll win. I think it's important for the Gnome, as I'm going to call them now. Nuno the Gnome. The last time we played Burnley was the semi-final in 2009 when we won 5-4. And we actually went on to lose to Man United in the final that year. We won it the previous year. So maybe it's a lucky omen for us. We've beaten them in 2009. We're beaten tonight. We're on our way to Wembley.
There we go.
Come on, that's what I'm talking about. Phil, good to have you on, my man. How are you keeping? And what's your thoughts ahead of tonight's game?
Yeah, I'm like Dermot, very confident for tonight, because we've had two shockers and they generally respond. So yeah, I think tonight will be no, I wouldn't say no problem, but I would say fairly comfortable. I think we'll take it tonight, and then it's obviously big one on Saturday.
No, 100%. I couldn't agree more. Look, I hope that Ginger Homer Simpson down in Burnley is ready for us coming tonight. As Jack said earlier on, we're going to smash the Dyche out of them tonight. I can't wait. But look, let's see what Harris Army, Irish Hotspur Army we have in the building here. We have Chris. Chris, do not get yourself sacked, man. I know he's working from home. He says, come on, you Spurs. Do not let us down. I'll be watching this stream working from home. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Harris Army. Come on, you Flat Cap Army.
Come on, Chris.
Beat yourself up, Chris. We have Marlon Daly says Burnley 2, Spuds FC 1. Well, this guy has Barcelona and Leicester as his picture, so he's not. I wouldn't say he's a proper football fan, to be honest with you. So I take no note of what he has to say. He's a two-club man. He's an absolute traitor. So Daly the Spud, you can keep going, my man. Dark Sun G says, "Come on, you Spurs. Good to see you, my man." He says, "This game is 3:45 a.m. for me. I hope we bash Burnley and then destroy United on Saturday." Look, Dark Sun G, I'm loving the renewed optimism. I think I need to do what Dark Sun G does, take a few days off, come back, and absolutely get pumped up. No, look, Dark Sun G, tonight I think we should win. Look, no winks, no wally. We will get on to that and get the last thoughts on that as well. Didn't travel. Interesting. And yeah, United on Saturday. So let's have them. That's what I say. Tottenham 4-3 says Dr. Tottenham will help Burnley tonight. Nah, look, Burnley are going to help Tottenham tonight. We're going to go up there. We're going to smash them, and just to take home with us. I think they're in like farmland in England, aren't they? So we'll just take all their cows and horses and sheep with us on the way home too. But big up Tottenham 4-3. Catman Jess is in the building. He says, "Come on, you Spurs, Hammers Army, and the Flat Cap Army." Big up Catman Jess. Hope things are well with you, brother.
Legend.
We have Pamela Slims in. She says, "Big up everyone in the chat. Big up Pamela. Hope things are well with you." Heiberg, the best PR in London. You better give me a performance today. You owe me after the West Ham game. Says Deli Alley and Stinks not in the squad. It's very interesting, my man. Willie McKenzie's in the house. He says, "Morning, come on, you Spurs." And he's also become a YouTube member. Big up, Willie McKenzie. I hope things are well with you, brother. Of course, won the cup, actually. He won the cup. Remember, he was saying he had a cup game there a while ago. I was speaking to him on Twitter, and he told me to win the cup, so big yourself up. Darryl Denton says, "Spurs bingo time. How many shots on target tonight?" Look, I do think we'll beat Burnley tonight. I do.
We'll have enough.
With 6. I'm gonna go with 10 shots. I think we're gonna pepper them tonight.
And we're going to have enough shots on target. That's what I would say, Daryl. Enough shots on target because they're all going in the back of the net. You just need to be more efficient, and then we'll bang them in.
Exactly. Shamu was in the house. Big up, Shamu. He says it's early for him too. It's nearly 4:20 a.m. I think you know what that means, Shamu. Neil Shafton says, "Yes, time for breakfast. It's just being delivered. Biscuits and gravy. Jack, lay off the caffeine. Slow down, lad."
I have about a pint of coffee every single day, Neil. It helps me go. It's in the bloodlines as well. My parents, they raised me on the very, very strong coffee. I probably will be one of the things, I would take with me on a deserted island is a big pint of coffee, a lot of coffee beans that, I can't get off it, Neil. Maybe next time, maybe in the future, but I just can't get rid of it.
No, he can't get rid of it because then the stats will slow down. He needs the coffee to be able to do the stats, my man. Dark Sun G says, "I hope we can get a win, a 3-win streak before the break." Yeah, look, win tonight. It gives us a bit of confidence going into the weekend. Absolutely trample all over United. Get your shoes out. Ole Gunnar Shoeshiner is coming. He assures me they will be sparkling clean by the time they leave. So, look, hopefully we beat them. Then we have Vitesse. We owe them. So let's actually put them into a spliff. That some good Dutch stuff. And let's absolutely smoke them to smithereens. And then roll on, I think it's Leeds. After that, is it Leeds? Roll on Leeds. And Everton, that's the one. Rafa Benitez, let's smash the granny out of him too. Absolutely love it, Dark Sun G. Big yourself up, brother. Really appreciate the support. David Raybold's in the house as well. He says, "I just want to see some effort, some passion, some flair. It's not too much to ask." It's the bare minimum of what we should be asking, to be honest with you. I'll be honest, we shouldn't even have to ask for that. That should be a given, to be honest with you, Dave. But big yourself up. I couldn't agree more with you, lad. Roachy Baby says, "Come on, you Spurs." Big up, Roachy Baby. We have Bjorn, the Norwegian Viking, punches in before next season. Don't know, man. Who knows? Lushan Busal says, "Love it early time. Love it every time. Big up to everyone from Nepal." Big yourself up over there in Nepal.
Wow.
Big yourself up. We also have Kane the Long Shot says, "Big up, ladies and gents. Let's smash Burnley today and get some momentum back." Couldn't agree. Let's do it, Kane the Long Shot. Big yourself up. Hope things are well. When Bonner's in the house, be a laugh seeing what team we put out. Yeah, look, let's wait and see. My man. I think it would be a mixture of A and B, to be honest with you, but we'll wait and see, Wayne. Hope you're keeping well as well, my man. I really do.
Big up, Wayne.
D-Trex Kane says, "No Harry Winks or Ali finally. I hope Davies doesn't play." I think he might, D-Trex. We'll wait and see. Tango Bina, she says, "Spurs 3-2. He just loves me saying the word 3. Big yourself up. Cal says, "Big up, lads. Pumped up, ready for tonight's game. Hopefully, we'll come away with a win." I think we will. I think we will win tonight. I don't see an upset tonight. I really don't, to be honest with you. Look, as bad a team, we're talking about a team that hasn't won a game all season, man. The only games they've won is beating Newcastle on penalties in the first round of the Cup and then beating Rochdale 4-1 in the next round of the Cup. It's the only games they won this season. So we should be smashing the living shit out of these today, my man. Dark Sun G says, "I was pumped up when Pogba got a red card in 15 minutes. I was absolutely delighted to see that. I'm not going to lie, Dark Sun G. It means he's suspended for the Spurs game. So absolutely loving it, lad. That's one of the big time Charlie's gone. So look, hopefully Ronaldo might pick up an injury or something in the meantime as well. That'd be nice. But big up Dark Sung G, what a man. Dark Sung G also helped me communicate with this guy, my man. I really would. But big yourself up.
Give him that warm welcome.
Yeah, exactly. Nathan Black is in the house. Big yourself up. With the sheep emoji or the goat emoji.
The goat emoji, Dave.
Yeah, goat emoji. Love it. Kuva99 says 0-0 or maybe 1-1 in a dire match, win on penalties. People get all excited and think we'll smash United. And then we get hammered 3-0 again. My faith in Nuno is absolutely zero. But even Norwich can draw. Look, we will get something, Dark Sun G. Trust me, my man. I feel like we will, brother. Or Kuva, I feel like we will, Kuva. Just hang in there. We'll get the win tonight. Everyone will be back optimistic before the weekend. John Langford says, is Kane playing, David? I'll be honest with you, I haven't got a text off him today. Usually he gives me a heads up. No text today. So I think he's just trying to keep me in suspense. I think he's maybe flirting with me, trying to tease me a little.
Left you on red, Dave?
Yeah, he kind of left me on red, but I think he's just trying to flirt with me, tease me a little. I don't mind. I love Harry Kane. So look, we'll wait and see. Craig Bowler's in the house. He says, this is what we need, a positive pump up. Come on, you Spurs. Always.
No better place to get it, Craig.
Every single game, whether it's here or on We Are Tottenham TV for the pre-match pump up, you can guarantee I will be in a good mood and believe we can win. Every single game, without doubt. I'm just that sort of deluded fan. Elias is in the house. If Nuno fails tonight, he should be sacked. Yeah, fair point. Derek Hutchins says, big up you guys. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Derek, my man. I hope you're keeping well. Dark Sun G Jack says, I want to see skipper Pierre-Emile Højbjerg wear the captain's armband tonight.
Yeah, especially if it means no more Mr. Catastrophe, no more Mr. Anonymous, Dark Sun G. I mean, it's just absolutely atrocious. It's shameful. We spoke about that at length last night on Kaniki Antony. Some of the Ben Davies quotes. He's the absolute opposite of the captain. He's the absolute opposite of the man that deserves to wear the armband. I'd love to see Skippy or Pierre wear it tonight. Maybe if they were playing, if both of them played tonight, if both of them start tonight, we probably would give it to Pierre, Dark Sun G. And then if Pierre-Emile Højbjerg is not on the pitch, I'd probably give it to Skippy or maybe even Tanganga. Wouldn't be a bad shout either, but I love it, Dark Sun G. You and I are in the same mindset, and it's good to see you again, brother.
Legend. That he also says, the guy that we were talking about there, he says he wants Spurs to win and Son to bag a hat-trick. That's what I'm talking about, my man.
There we go.
That's what I'm talking about. Look, I don't think you will see Son and Kane start tonight. I think it will be either or. So it'll be interesting to see who gets the nod. Look, if we're going by the Wolves game in the previous thing, Kane probably get the nod with Son coming off the bench, maybe. I'm not sure, but we'll wait and see. But either way, I just want goals. I want goals, my man. Let's welcome a few more in, and then we'll get Josh in, and then we'll crack on. Island Life says, hoping for the result today. We all are, my man. Big yourself up, Island Life. Claude Murphy says, big up, guys. Come on, you Spurs. Nothing but a win today. That's what I'm talking about. I love the way, during the week, we're all angry. And as soon as match day comes around, everyone's absolutely pumped up, ready to be hurt again. I absolutely love it. Oliver Freeman says, hi, lads. Just back from work. Big yourself up, Oliver. I hope you're keeping well, buddy. You also have Abdul Karim. I just realized Pogba got a red card and he's out against us. Thank God, because he absolutely bust our midfield last time he played Man United. Yeah, he's out, my man. He is out, brother. John R. M says, in fairness, Dave, our wins have not been that convincing, to be fair. Yeah, no, that's a fair point. I don't think it will matter if Nuno goes with Enoch there. It's rinse and repeat. We tried with Jose Poch. It's down to the board. 100%.
Always.
On a macro level, it's always the board. But on a micro level, you still have to look at the manager and the players as well, my man. And then we have Faz Radfar as well. He says 3-0 to Spurs with a Harry hat-trick for David. If Harry Kane scores a hat-trick tonight, I will refuse to talk about Harry Kane for 2 or 3 weeks. I will blatantly refuse to talk about it until people learn their lessons with this guy. But look, he might not even score tonight, so let's not get too excited. He might not even play. But I still have faith in Harry. I still think he'll come to banging in the goals. But big up Fazzy, my man. Big yourself up. What a legend. What a legend. He's getting me pumped up. He knows what he's doing. Spurs 72 is also in the house this morning. Afternoon, gents. Hope you guys are having a great day. Big up chat. Hope game day. I'm cleaning, but listening to the best stream on YouTube. My man, make sure you get it spotless, spick and span. Spit shine that, baby. You get that spit shine, we'll win the game. Big up Spurs 72. And hopefully we make your cleaning a bit more bearable. Mark Diskey says, this game worries me. I don't think I will have nails left tonight. Now, look, Don't be worried, my man. Do not be worried. I think we'll get. Do you know what? I'm so confident today we'll get the win. I'm confident every game, but I'm really, really confident today. I can't help it, Mark. I do think we'll get the win. Mark, if you are the one that's emailed me, I will get back to you. Just have a really long day today with streams and stuff like that. But I'll get back to you tomorrow, my man. If it's not that, Mark, big up this, Mark. Blade also says, Conference League, Carabao Cup and top 6 will be a good season, in my opinion. I agree. I would like top 4, though. And Leo says, to be honest, I believe we are a work in progress. That is a fair point. That is a fair point. Look, let's welcome in Josh. Josh, what's your quick thoughts on today's game, my man?
I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. I'm sort of on the fence a little bit. Depending on the lineup that we play will depend on whether or not we get the result we need, I think.
Well, look, Josh, you've about 3 hours of me. You've got this and then the pre-match pump-up. So trust me, by the end of them 3 hours, you're going to be absolutely pumped for it, and you believe we're going to win, my man. You really will. Trust me. It's just that.
This is why I love this stream, because no matter what happens during the week, we could get absolutely destroyed 6-0 at a weekend. We come into it the day of a game, and everyone comes out thinking we're going to win. I love it. We're
goldfish. We're goldfish, Josh.
It's what it's about, lads. It's what it's about. Football is all about the hope. But guys, everyone that's watching, make sure you do smash that like button. Make sure you absolutely smash the granny out of that subscribe button. We're on the big push for 4.5k. And look, why not help support the channel with a super chatter too? It's a great way to help support us on our journey. And look, we know that, you know, not everybody can, not everybody's in a position. It's a Wednesday. I know what it's like come Wednesday and Thursday, believe me. So guys, don't feel pressured at all. We will bring up everybody's comments on screen. But if you want to skip the queue, you know, the super chat is the way to go. Just like Dark Sun G here, big up. He says it was a shame that Southampton lost to the Blues on penalties. It was, man. It was. I thought that would have been one of the big guns gone. But look, if either City or Liverpool can go tonight, and then if either City or Liverpool do get through, hopefully one of them play Chelsea, and we get a nice easy tie and kind of like a walk into the semis, that would be ideal, my man.
That'd be nice.
It would be. Dark Sun G. Big yourself up, lad. What a legend. Look, let's get into it. I'm just going to tell everybody everything they need to know before we start dishing out the questions and see what this crazy bunch of panelists have to say on it. Everything you need to know, guys. Of course, it is away at Turf Moor. It is a 7:45 p.m. kickoff. The referee, I haven't a clue who it is today. They must be keeping it quiet purely because, you know, referees have been against us, and he's probably getting too much abuses for me giving out the names on here. It is not on live TV in the UK. But for you American audience, I have you covered. It is on ESPN+. The pre-match pump, you can join me on the pre-match pump-up after this. It starts at 6:15 over on We Are Tottenham TV. And I hope to see you all there. And I hope to see you all come on and have your say. And then join me back here for the watch-along starting at 7:30 tonight. It'd be great to see so many people back here enjoying the game with us. Burnley, just a few bits on them. Look, they are winless in 9 Premier League games this season. Like I said, they beat Newcastle on penalties in the previous round, beat Rochdale in the last round 4-1. Their last 5 games in all competitions, 1 win, 3 draws, 1 loss. The main threat for me today, if he does play, I reckon will be someone like Jay Rodriguez, who scored 4 goals in the last round versus Rochdale. And Burnley do play a bit of a 4-3-2-1 sort of system, 4-3-3 system. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on today. Tottenham, of course, we are winless in our last 2 games. We beat Wolves on penalties in the previous round to make it here. The last 5 games, we've won 3 and we've lost 2. Our last 3 trips to Turf Moor have been indifferent, with 1 win, 1 draw, and 1 loss. And of course, I expect us to line up with a 4-3. A 4-2-3-1 today. Players injured for Tottenham. Sessegnon is out with his hamstring. Still, Doherty, although does return to the matchday squad. Whether he will start or not, we will wait and find out. I don't think by Nuno's words.
I think he will. There's a picture that if you go on the Spurs Twitter, there's a picture they put up of the Tottenham versus Burnley pre-match and all this malarkey. And the poster boy for the post is Matt Doherty.
I don't think he will, though, because Nuno was saying that he's not 100% ready to come back in yet. So, look, we'll wait and see. But I
think it's just because Josh, he's Mr. Hollywood. So, you know, that's the reason why. He just has the best faces out there. You know, that's the reason why.
More like Mr. Bollywood. Like, B-Tech Bollywood, mate.
I'll just get through the rest of this, guys. I'll start dishing out the questions. Look, Winks and Dele Alli have not travelled with the matchday squad. That is confirmed. With Burnley, Cornet, the striker from Lyon, I believe it is, He scored 2 against Southampton at the weekend. He did come off with a cramp. I wouldn't say he will be risked today. They have Brentford at the weekend. It's a huge relegation scrap, so I think they'd be stupid to risk him today. Ben Mee is back after the coronavirus. Not sure whether we'll see him. And Dale Stevens, he is back in training, but a long way off being fit. A few stats for you, the head-to-head. Tottenham have won 50, drawn 28, and Burnley have won 41 of the ties where we played each other. Of course, winning the Carabao Cup this season actually qualifies you for the Europa Conference League next season. There is no VAR in use tonight. The 5-sub rule is back in place, where from this round onwards, teams can make 5 substitutions tonight. Draw for the quarterfinals will be on Saturday at 10:30 a.m. over on Soccer AM if anyone wants to catch the draw. Burnley have won one of their last 14 in all competitions versus Tottenham. Not a good omen for them. And Tottenham have eliminated Burnley the last 2 times we faced them in the League Cup. And Son is actually, when Son has started, he's directly been involved in 6 goals in the last 6 starts in the League Cup with 4 goals and 2 assists. So there it is, guys. There's all the stats. There is absolutely everything that you guys need to know about tonight's game. Oh yeah, I already got to that. So look, let's start dishing out some of the questions that we have today. Look, Jack, we have suffered back-to-back defeats. Is today a must-win game for Nuno?
I think it is, and I'll kind of stress this again. While we might want to expect something big from the Man United match, I feel like Nuno can, to a degree, ease a bit of the pressure that's on him at the moment by, maybe doing well in these cup competitions, as well as maybe Burnley in front of him. You kind of think that he has to win this match. I really do think he does, because then, Dave, that make it 3 defeats in a row, as well as being knocked out of a cup competition. You can't win that back. You can't be, once you're out the cup, you're out the cup, and that does mean fewer fixtures for us. But I do feel like that would put more pressure on Nuno to maybe do well in another competition. I think his saving grace this season could be staying in all these cups and just making sure that we get as far as we can in those cups, and maybe people might get a bit of confidence back with him. At least I just think it would save a bit of that pressure off of him. And as well as, like you said, David, off of 2 defeats, 2 kind of bad defeats as well, especially the Vitesse one was really, really embarrassing. I'd like to think that, Nuno needs to get this win here, and hopefully he's got it all planned out. He's got it all situated out. He's probably had the coffee like me this morning, maybe a bit too much, getting a bit nervous, getting a bit shaky. But I would probably say this is something he needs to prioritize. He needs to win this one, so that even just to ease a bit of the pressure that's on him at the moment. So yes, David, it's a must win.
Interesting. And look, speaking of pressure, Dermot, do you think the pressure on Nuno is fair right now?
Yeah, I think so. I think half and half. I think you can blame the team half, but also you can blame Nuno for the decisions he's made. Thursday, he should have had 1 or 2 first bigger players on the bench just in case if we needed them. And also, I think he's not dropping the plays that should be dropped. Do you know what I mean? I'm picking a squad A and a squad B is not a good thing, because if you had players playing on Thursday that want to get into the first team, that maybe would have made them try a bit more. Or, if I play well tonight, I might have a shout for Sunday. So it's 50-50 for me. But I think half of it's his and half of it's his team.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And look, Phil, how long do you give Nuno in this position? Look, for me, I think the next 2 weeks are critical. But do you think all of this is warranted? Do you think as Spurs fans, we just need to sit back, be patient, and realize that it is, a transition season?
Yeah, I do. I think, it's like, I don't think there's many of us that are sat here thinking, oh, I'm so glad we got Nuno, but we got to give the guy some time. I always go back to Poch, and didn't he win something like 1, maybe 2 of his first 14? Can you imagine if that was now? We're like, oh, let's get rid of Poch. And if somebody was going to come along and say, yeah, but this is what he's going to do, I guess my big difference is with Nuno is, can I see that changing? He just sometimes gives the impression he's absolutely lost. He's not got control of those players, because if he did, they wouldn't turn up or not turn up like they did on Sunday. And there's somewhere between the two. Is he's not quite fully at it, and the players they're either not with him or they're not for the club. But either way, that's got to change. That's got to change, because it's just, if they don't change their mentality, we're not doing anything this season. We can all get pumped up today and go, come on, it's a cup game. Are they on the bus going, come on, this is my chance. I'm going to score tonight. I'm going to get a goal against Man U. I'm going to be in the side. I don't know if that desire is there. And that's probably the biggest thing that we want to change.
Yeah, I agree. And sorry, look, I'm not saying Spurs fans shouldn't be impatient at all. I think, after reaching the heights of the Champions League final, we should be demanding more. But Josh, do you think the run to get into the Champions League final has probably made Spurs fans that little bit less impatient than that every manager after Pochettino now has to come in and get instant success?
No, I think it's. I think if anything, it's made them more impatient. How can we go from being in a Champions League final to not even qualifying for Champions League the following season, and then even getting Europa Conference League this season? It's just like a steady decline that we're going down. We've seen the days of glory. I think for us to get in the Champions League final is a huge momentous occasion for us, and fans are now getting impatient in the sense of we need to see that success again. But it's all about the manager that we have, and I think there's going to be no one like Poch. No one is going to be able to take over where Poch left off. Yeah. The only thing that we can do is we can try and replicate that success, but no one's ever going to succeed. No one's ever going to surpass him. And quite frankly, it's all about the managerial appointments, and I don't think Nuno's that person. But then, when the shoe's on the other foot, you have to ask yourself: if we get rid of Nuno now, the only manager that we're left with is the likes of Steve Bruce, and it isn't good enough. We need someone that's world class, but for us to have a world class manager, we need a board that's going to throw the checkbook at a manager and say, look, this is how much money we can give you. Take it, buy who you can, improve the squad, and let's make this club glorious again. We can't at the moment. It's a case of we can't even sing glory Tottenham Hotspur because of the state that we're in right now. There's nothing glorious about it at all.
Mm.
Yeah, but I'm still going to sing this song every single time. That's the problem. I absolutely.
Yeah, no, of course. We're still gonna sing that we're the greatest football team the world's ever seen.
Oh
but
yeah.
Realistically speaking, the way that we've been playing recently, and the way that our board's running the club, it isn't glorious at all.
Yeah.
We at the moment we are playing like a mid-table team at best.
Yeah. Look, and I agree with you. There's no hiding away from it, but. Do you know what? I just don't think it's as easy as just saying, let's get rid of Nuno, getting someone else in. Look, people can band around all these names they want, whether it be like Ten Hag and all these players. That in an ideal world, yes. But no manager is coming to this team knowing that the squad is not good enough and they need serious money to replace it, and that Daniel Levy's not going to give them the real money and the restraints they have to work on. And that's why we're in the position we're in. And that's why it's a very, very tricky one. And I ask all Spurs fans just to really, really think long and hard about it before you do, say Nuno out and stuff like that and put other names, because we done that with Jose Mourinho. Everyone was putting out Nagelsmann. He bummed off to Bayern Munich. Everyone was saying Ten Hag. He didn't want to come. Conte wouldn't come unless he had money to rotate the squad and get things his way. So it's not as easy as that. And
even Harry Potter said no, Dave.
Yeah, even Harry Potter, and he dissed us as well in the press, the little prick. But look, honestly, I hate that guy. I hope he does find platform 9 3/4 or thinks he sees it on a night out and ends up knocking himself out, running into a wall. I absolutely despise him. But look, the thing is, I just think no matter what manager you're going to get in here, it's going to fail until the likes of some of these players are gone. And speaking of the likes of some of these players, and I'll get onto it now as well. I'll just get these 2 super chats in, and then I'll pass it over to Jack about Winks and Ali, and what are the thoughts on the situation. But Dark Sun G says, once we get rid of the 4 weeds, I feel we can go up. No, 100%. I think that's the feeling with most supporters, man, to be honest with you. That, you get rid of the crap, and that we can really kick on. Because I was explaining last night that they're stopping the youngsters from coming through in the academy. They're not getting the game time. They're stopping when we're bringing in new players to try and change this culture, because they're mixing with these guys and they're in the same boat. They end up fucking bringing the new players down, and then it just creates that situation over and over again until you get rid of them. If you do want to check out what I had to say on that, do get over and check out Kaniki Answer Me that we done last night for a bit of a longer-winded version on it, guys. But big up, Dark Sun G. I couldn't agree more with you, my man. And the truth sets you free. Big up the truth sets you free. I hope you're keeping well, my man. He says, let's win today, one game at a time mentality, and stay positive. Big yourself up, the truth sets you free. Truth sets you free. I see you had a bit of a Barney with Shamu last night, a moderator. Man, please be nice to him. He has a hard job sometimes when the comments are absolutely flying. Just please, if the two of you can sort it out and get on, and let's just make this chat a nice, courteous place for everybody. Supporting Tottenham is difficult at the best of times. Let's not fight amongst each other, but big yourself up, my man. I hope things are well, brother. It's good to see you in. It really is good to see you in. I see him speak about Roy Keane a lot. That's why I love him. But look, Jack, we were speaking about these same players. And look, I think Winks, I think Davies, I think Dele, but mainly today, Winks and Dele has been left at home. Has Nuno had his final straw with these guys? Do you think it's tactical? Do you think it's he has no plans for them now going forward? And maybe does this spell the end for Winks and Dele Alli at the club?
I think what you first can draw from it, and I think what everybody should draw from it, is that he's probably realizing that with Winks and Dele in the side, he has a lesser chance of winning this match. And that's what you can break it down first is. And when you think about it in those terms, that probably does speak about maybe where Winks and Dele have gone, especially Dele in his case, because, in the Vitesse match, he didn't go on international break, of course. So he had all the time in the world to prepare for that Vitesse match. And he did absolute zilch in that match, David. He had nothing of actual contribution in that game. And Nuno, to a degree, isn't blind as much as, Dermot and I kind of agree on that part where he is a leader of the blind mice to a degree. I don't think he's blind enough to, see the actual horror that, Dele Alli had against Vitesse. And when you think about it in those terms, David, he's done for. I think Dele Alli is done for, and there's no reason he shouldn't be playing in this match unless Nuno trusted him. And since he's even being left out of the squad entirely, that means Nuno doesn't trust him. He's probably sick of that attitude as well, because we've seen it before where Dele Alli got pulled off against Mura because he was having a terrible game against the Slovenian side, and Dele Alli still pointed at himself saying, who, me, Nuno? I think in moments like that probably pissed off Nuno. It gave him another chance against Vitesse. Failed in that opportunity. I mean, I don't know how many chances a guy can get, David. If I had that many chances, honestly, I'd be a rich man, David. That's what I would say. And to a degree, I think it's probably just showing it's the end of Dele. And because he's probably clearly has two players ahead of him that he'd rather select. That's probably Gio, that's probably Tanguy, and you might even throw Lucas and Brian Hill maybe ahead of them as well. So he's just fallen down very hard on the pecking order. There's no more Dele Alli, and that's for good reason with Winks. I don't even know if I have to insult the panel's intelligence on that. That guy's absolutely useless. We touched on it plenty on Can Nicky Answer Me, but Dele Alli I do think is done for. I don't think Nuno trusts him, so that's probably now the third manager in a row that's given up on him. Just says a lot. Really does say a lot.
It does. Memory, look, I'm not giving up on him, and I'm not calling for him to be gone, and I will not either. And so believe me, I want to give him a bit more time, to be honest with you, so don't worry about that, Memory. Dermot, look, why do you think Winks and Ali have been left out today?
With Ali, I think it's something to do with what's been going on social media, I think, for the last week.
Yeah.
I think he's not embarrassed Nuno, he's embarrassed the club, the fans. And by the way, if anyone did see the picture, he needs to go to Manscaped. If anyone's seen the picture, that needs to happen. With Winks, I think Winks has ran his time out too. And I think he's had enough chances. And I think between him and Dele and Davis, they just need to go. But Ali, just cancel his contract. Do whatever you have to do, because that man is poison. And if it's poison in the dressing room, he's going to poison the young players coming through. And then you're going to have that cycle again. Just get rid of him. Cancel his contract, march him out the gate, put him on the bus and send him somewhere. He doesn't come back again.
No return ticket from Dermot, that's for sure.
No.
But look, Phil, yourself, do you think it spells the end of the road for these at Tottenham? Is their career over? And is it important that if it is and Nuno doesn't see a path forward, that these guys are gone in January purely because, ultimately they could end up turning the dressing room against the manager if they're being isolated?
Yeah, they're both, let's face it, they're both finished at Tottenham. I'm just looking at the stats now of our earners. Dele Alli hasn't got Romero's salary in there. Dele Alli's the fifth highest earner. He earns more than club captain Hugo Lloris. And you're like, it's like, who's made that decision? And I get it. Maybe 3-4 years ago, he was all singing, all dancing. But I don't remember. I couldn't tell you when he last had a great game. Awful last season. Done nothing this season. But I would say and I haven't seen what's gone on in the media, but I would say is him and Winks, the biggest issue they've got is they're like little whinging kids in the corner. It's like, oh, they won't play me. You know, it's shocking. When I went to the Watford game, and I always hang around afterwards, and Harry Winks was out there with this personal trainer, and he was obviously doing a warm down. And, you know, there was about 20, 30 people behind, obviously trying to get pictures and stuff. Not once did he look round or, you know, try and acknowledge. Lucas Moura came back out, waved to the crowd, came over, did a little bit. But Winks, I think deep down, Winks knows he's finished. And it's like, I'm just going to make the most of my limited time here. But, you know, maybe he should have gone tonight because he'd fit well at Burnley because that's the sort of club I think Harry Winks would be at. And as for Dele, as much as I want him to go in January, I think we're going to struggle to sell him. And that's before we've even thought about what price you put on him. I reckon we would struggle to get 30 for Dele now, you know, at the moment. Because there's not, you know, like you say, the last three managers, not a good word for any of them to say about him. So, yeah. Clock's ticking, hopefully.
Look, I hope so, because look, I'll be honest with you. I think Winks has probably dropped for his big press conference he done with saying it doesn't fill us with confidence separating the A and B team. I have a sneaky suspicion Dele might have been dropped for the Instagram post.
They've been dropped from the B team, David.
Yeah, but look, I think Dele Alli might have been dropped for the Instagram post after the West Ham game. Nuno probably said to them, no pictures, none of this, none of that crap. And Dele Alli probably, I want to get on Love Island this summer, so I have to put my picture out. You never know. Look, I'm absolutely delighted to see it. It's about time some of these players are held accountable. Josh, what do you think? Think Nuno's making the right decision?
Yeah, I do. I don't want to see them. I don't want to see either of them in the squad. Going based off of footballing ability, like it's mad to think Dele Alli's 25 and it looks like he peaked at 20. Like it's crazy to think. Like he's more interested in posting pictures and doing his partnerships with Boohoo and all that stuff than it is. He's more interested in nailing Pep's daughter than he's nailing his performance on the pitch. Like that's genuinely how it is. His heart's not in the club. His heart is not with Spurs. What he needs is he needs a move away. And I kind of sympathise. With on the front that if his motivation is that low, he's never going to fall into this squad again. Not under Nuno anyway. But I think the best thing for him would be to leave and go to someone like Southampton, where he's going to drop into that team perfectly. Even someone like Wolves, I think he'd work wonders at Wolves. He needs a move away from Spurs in order to get his ability back
and to be humbled as well.
He needs 100%. He needs to be humbled. He needs to understand he's not bigger than the crest on the shirt. The way he portrays himself is he portrays himself to be bigger than the crest on the shirt, and he gets agitated when we make tactical decisions to bring him off. It's not good enough. Harry Winks, on the other hand, his little comments in his little press conference that being dropped from the team, it doesn't fill us with confidence. Well, maybe perform in training, perform on the pitch when you get the opportunity, and you won't be dropped. You cannot perform like that and expect to be picked. No, it doesn't work. It's not rocket science. You're paid to play football. If you want to get into the first 11, play football. Stop playing primary school football. Play adult Premier League style football. It's not rocket science. It's common sense.
But you know what? Do you know why Winks and Dele find themselves where they are, guys? It's purely because they just don't get it. You look at Winks' comments. It hasn't clicked with them. In order to get a run of games, you have to play well in the games that you're being given to prove that you're good enough to get into a manager's plans. It's how trust works. If someone doesn't trust you and they throw you a bone, you have to take that to be able to build up the trust. He just doesn't get it. He just doesn't get it. He literally just doesn't get it. But then you look at Dele Alli, as well, like Winks, Dele Alli, he goes off crying, sulking. He just doesn't get it. Earn the manager's trust, build it up, take the opportunities, get into the first team. They just don't get it. And for me, that's why they have to go. And I'm absolutely delighted that Nuno has made a stand. And he's probably made a stand this year that Jose Mourinho couldn't make last year because he didn't have enough fresh faces in this team, to be able to make that sort of stand. So I'm absolutely delighted. And you have to give Nuno fair play on that. At the end of the day, I think Nuno knows his job's on the line. And he's not staking on Harry Winks and Dele Alli. No way. I think he's learned from Poch. I think he's learned from Mason. I think he's learned from Jose Mourinho. He ain't staking on them, that's for sure. And hopefully, look, if they don't respond in the right way, well, then fuck them. I don't want to hear any more of them crying, coming out doing these press conferences, feeling sorry for me, or I'm knocking on the manager's door. And if they speak out of turn, cancel the contract. Simple as. If they don't like it, tough shit. Stop being a baby. Dark Sung G also says, White, John McCarthy, Divine, Amole, Piscozzi, and Scarlett, please look up to Sun and Skip and Tanganga and stay close to them. Make sure you stay away from the uniform. And Dark Sung G is exactly what I was saying last night as well. When you're in work and say you're in the same situation as someone else where things might not be going right, you're naturally just end up drifting towards that person, getting close to that person and everything else. And then whatever they're thinking will eventually rub off on you and stuff like that. And you can already see it happening to the Celso, Joe Rodin, players like that we've brought in to try and help the team. They've been out of the team for long enough now, and now they're just Davies, Ali, and Winks and all is rubbing off on them. So I agree with you, Dark Sung G. You need to start looking at the right people, but they're never going to start doing that while the wrong people are still here. Unfortunately, you're still going to have kids in that academy that are going to be inspired by Dele Alli. They're going to be walking around with his haircut. They're going to have his name on their boots. It's absolutely ridiculous. But unfortunately, them players won't make it. So I presume, that'd be good for Tottenham anyway in the long run. But big up, Dark Sun G, my man. I really appreciate the support, brother. I really appreciate the support. Everyone else, feel free to get the super chats in. Look, Jack, back to you. How important is it that we do win to gain some momentum heading into the United game at the weekend? Say if we lose today, do you think Sunday will end up being El Sacco if we don't win today?
Just want to quickly say there are 164 people in the building right now. Please hit that like, please hit that subscribe, and please, please, please hit that notification bell as well to never miss another pre-pump up to the pre-match pump up over on We Are Tottenham TV. This is your home, whether it's the morning, whether it's afternoon, whether it's also the evening for you. Please hit that subscribe button and that bell so you never miss another one. Now 173. Please jump in, everybody. Please throw in your chats and get pumped up with the boys here and never miss another one. But David, to answer your question, I think it is in Nuno's case, I wouldn't like to say it's as much El Sacco. I would say or El Sacco, I would say in Ole's case, it definitely is El Sacco. He has to win that match. But him losing tonight, if Nuno were to lose tonight, that would not make things any better. Because like I said, David, you can't get that back. Once you're out of the cup competition, you can't get that back. You have to wait till next year. And I think the Carabao Cup is a bit more achievable than the FA Cup. It's a bit more achievable even to a degree than the Europa Conference League with the way we've been going about it recently. I think it is the competition that we actually as a club should prioritize. It gets us into the Europa League, as you even said as well, David. It is actually a quick kind of sneaky pass into the Europa League if you win the Carabao Cup. So that would actually be, in my opinion, a very, very good route for us. And I think the Europa League is actually more our level, in my opinion. I would say he has to win this one, and it would also probably demotivate the squad and really heavily if we lose this one tonight. Because again, like you touched on earlier with that brilliant question, Dave, that'd be 3 pretty horrible defeats in a row. You can't unnotice that as a fan, as a board member, as a coach, even for yourself. Nuno would recognize that, and he would probably really be feeling the pressure. He has to win tonight and then carry on whatever momentum that is gained from winning tonight onto the next match in El Sacco. I think Nuno is still a better coach than Ole. I'd like to think that, Nuno might do a bit better with those players over at Man United than probably Ole has done. But I think there's a bit more pressure on Ole. At the same time, there's still plenty of pressure coming from the fans, as well as, the atmosphere right now towards Nuno. And he has to win tonight in order to carry whatever momentum he can get from this match on to the next one.
Dermot, just a great answer, Jack. Dermot, just kind of like, we know what our players' mentality is like. It's fragile. Is a win tonight the utmost important to be able to get a good result at the weekend against United?
Yeah, it is. It's most important we get a win tonight. I'm also put in a good performance as well to breed that confidence for Sunday.
Yeah.
So we can help Ollie make his shoe shining shop in Manchester and put him in there. And we need good wins tonight, Sunday, and then before the international break.
Yeah.
I also think it's not fair. It shows how bad football's got that a manager is not even halfway through his season and there's word of him getting the sack.
Yeah.
It shows how bad. And Levy will be there with the gun on the trigger. He's already got his finger on the trigger, ready to pull it. But it's a sad state of the affair. That man deserves at least half a season or the season. Doesn't work out at the end of the season. Okay, thank you, Nuno. on your way, we'll get somebody else in. But no, it's vitally important. We need a win tonight for Sunday.
No,
Well
good
said,
point.
Dermot.
Good point. Well said, Dermot. Look, Phil, you can help me with this super chat, my man. It's from Cuva99. He says, there was one summer under Poch when every week we saw more and more players signing big new contracts and massive pay rises. Half thought they no longer needed to try because they were big-time Charlies. Would you agree with what Cuva's saying here?
Again, let's be honest. We don't know that for definite. We can only look at what we see. And what we see are, very good footballers earning a fortune, not giving a monkeys about the club and not trying. And we've said, I don't know how many times, we accept Spurs are going to lose and it's a pain. But if they go down fighting, then, we got a bit of respect for that. I mean, some of the teams we had in the 90s were shocking. They were awful, but they still gave heart and soul. I can remember watching like the derby with Arsenal and thinking, my God, they're on a run, and you go 1-0 up and they fought everything. And yeah, it was our cup final, but do you know what? They tried their very best, but that mentality of that squad is poor. But is it? I don't know. Is it to do with the money? And it's I've signed 6-year deal. I wonder what it must be like if you sign a 6-year deal at $100,000 a week. You're like, well, it's $5 million a year. No matter whether I play every minute or I never play again, I'm going to earn 30 million. So that incentive is really difficult. But again, as a professional footballer, which, let's face it, all of us would swap places with them in a heartbeat, wouldn't we? Whether we earn £1 a week or we had to pay the club, we would all go and play there tonight. Yeah. It's like, where does that passion go? What gets in the way? And I go back to what you were talking about the other night. And it's like, are they just too pampered? Is there too many people saying to them, oh, Harry Winks, you're so good. It's not fair. They need some bloody tough love in there. And maybe Jose was trying to do the right thing, but maybe got out pushed. I don't know, but they need a bit of reality check in there. They really do, because they're not great role models for our club and for our team.
Yeah, 100%. And just to follow up on that, maybe Phil, do you with Nuno's power move today, do you think maybe, and what he done Thursday against Vitesse, he let them know, look, you're not in my plans, it's up to you to get into them. Do you think he's the man to maybe deliver this power move? Well,
he's stepping in the right direction. What he's got to do is make it count. So, and I know you're a great Harry Kane lover, but if Son and Kane start tonight and they don't play well, he's got to have enough balls to say, do you know what? I'm going to change it. Yes, I haven't got a spare striker or a spare wing or whatever it is, but he's got to do something different. What I don't want to do is sit watching him like a statue with his arms crossed going, yeah, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Oh, we're 1-0 down. Oh, it's you want him to be a little bit more proactive. And Poch always said that. It's like, you got to change it before it goes bad, not when it gets bad, because then you've got to pick yourself up. And that's notoriously, probably for the last 2, maybe 3 years, that's what we haven't done well. And I think Sunday just absolutely highlighted it, and as with last Thursday. So I just hope he's got enough nous, and he's allowed to, because that would be the other question is he allowed to take off Harry Kane? Is he allowed to take off Son if they're not having a good game? Because they're great players, they're world class, and you wouldn't, at the moment, you pretty much still wouldn't swap them for anyone. But if they're not at it, then you've got to make a change, or you've got to do something different. It doesn't necessarily mean take him off the pitch, but maybe you take Kane out of being a 9 and put him at 10 and put Son up there. I don't know. Just, you want to see a reaction to something that's not going well, not come to the end of the game and go, well, we did all right, we must improve. We know we've got to improve, because otherwise we'd be in first place in the league and we'd all be happy.
So true. So true. Absolutely brilliant.
Good logic there.
Brilliant. And the truth sets you free says, you guys are the best in the business. You really are. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate
Also, the truth sets free. I just, if you aren't Cape Cod, which, by the way, is an absolutely beautiful place. I have been a few times before my grandparents passed away. They would go there a lot. So, it is a beautiful place, but it is pretty horrible weather over here in the East Coast. And I know certain regions have been hit really, really hard by these storms. So hopefully everything is all right. Hopefully you have enough food. Hopefully maybe the lights will eventually turn back on. But yeah, just stay inside, enjoy the Spurs, and hopefully you have maybe a few beers or whatever, stocked up so you don't have to go out into that horrible weather and, replenish yourself. But true sets for you. Hopefully you're doing all right. It actually has been pretty horrible weather over here. So hopefully you're doing okay. Hopefully you're nice and safe.
Hope you're doing well, brother. And Kuva99, I hope you enjoyed Phil's answer on the super chat, my man. Really appreciate it, guys. Really appreciate the love and the support in the super chats, guys. You have no idea how much it does help out. But Josh, my man, back to you. If we don't win today, do you see us maybe not turning up against United? Is a win today crucial for our players' mentality going into that?
100%. 100%. Not only is it crucial for the mentality going into the game, I think it's crucial for whether or not we keep Nuno, but more importantly, it's most important whether or not we keep Paratici. Because if Levy decides to sack Nuno, say if we have a poor run of games before the international break, you undermine Paratici and you lose him as well. So in order to keep Paratici, you have to hope that Nuno actually does well. In terms of motivation, I think if we get a decent win, if we get a pretty hefty win tonight, we can go into Saturday thinking, yeah, you know what, we've actually got a chance here. Because at the moment, if we lose, that completely goes out the window. Completely goes out the window. We've got to turn up. We have to turn up tonight and Saturday, and then again again midweek. Like those 3 games are pivotal as to whether or not Nuno keeps his job. But focusing on tonight, we need a hefty win, because if we don't get the hefty win, the motivation is going to be so low that we aren't going to turn up.
Yeah. No, I'd agree with that. Let's welcome a few more. Let's see who we still have in the chat. Let's see what some of the chat is saying quickly. Island Life says Ole got superstars, and failing horribly. Couldn't agree more. Chris says, I support Spurs for 30 plus years. That's why I get so annoyed when I see my team doing as bad as they have recently. Couldn't agree more, my man. Kelso Hunt says, Winks and Delhi need to move on. I couldn't agree more, Kelso. I could not agree more, my man. Who else have we got here? We have Island Life as well. He says a win against Man United would be so good. It really would, my man. Oliver Freeman says League Cup gets you a conference spot. If you win Conference League, you get Europa spot. Exactly, my man. You've worked it out, lad. Tot943 says this game is Saturday, not Sunday. Yeah, it is Saturday. It's a late kickoff Saturday. Kudos says Levy with a gun. He's absolutely loving Dermot's line there, I have to say. Big up American Tough in the house. John Nate says only work with the tools you got. That is fair. Ravi says the owners don't care. No, 100% they don't. Bob the Long Squash says long time no. See Harris Army, big yourself up, Bob Squash. I hope you're keeping well, brother. Tango Bin Al-Sheed says should never be 6-year deals. Yeah, I agree with you. It shouldn't be. Who else have we got? We've got Catman Jess says I would pay to be able to play for Spurs, and he'd live on the streets to do it. Big yourself up. Ken the Long Shot says we are Spurs fans. We can take losing. It's part of the game, but we cannot take the lack of effort. We are a hard-working man's club with hard-working fans. The least we expect of the players is to try. Someone screenshot that now. That's a brilliant comment. Big up, Paul the Long Shot. Paul Mansbridge says Winks good. Absolute comedy. Yeah, he's a joke. Big Papa says we need to be patient so Nuno can take the team back from the players. That's a good point. I agree with that. Mark says Winks is a modern day Vinny Samways. Yeah, he just doesn't have the guy like Samways though, my man. He doesn't have the strength, nothing like that. Sanford says issue is who do you bring in or who do you bring on, and that's for Kane. I agree. Look, maybe you can put Son up there, drop Kane, bring on Bergwijn, Lucas, and whatever else. I don't think it's the right way forward, but look, I'm not the manager. I don't see everything that goes on every day. I'm only giving my opinion. Plenty of people would disagree with me. Believe me, I get Kane from all angles lately for my love for Kane. I love it though. JJ says Son gets taken off. Kane has never been subbed, even when he is clearly playing shit, just like against West Ham. That is a fair point. Neil Shafton says this is the most frustrating thing about Nuno, his indecision or lack of wanting to make adjustments when necessary, not with 6 minutes to go in a game. Your team plays like crap in the first half. Change it. Couldn't agree more with that, I have to say. Steve Sheezer says nothing will change ever change until the greedy Levy and Joe are gone. That's also a fair point.
Well said.
Aaron D says Levy doesn't really want Spurs to win trophies at all. It will cost more money to keep Spurs there as our expectations increase. That is a very good point. Daryl Denton says Nuno averaged 1 goal a game. The key was to have a 100% Kane fire in this term. This team ain't blessed in goals or assists. Yeah,
good perspective. Yeah.
Let's see who else we have quickly. I'll get back to this, Dark Sun G. Just give me 1 second, brother. Wall Street Hotspur says, big up, Dave. Saw you on Will Stewart's channel. Big yourself up, my man. I hope things are well, brother. I hope things are well. Arvan Berry says, LFG, guys. I don't know what that means, but yeah, big yourself up, my man. Oh, let's fucking go. That's what he said.
Yeah, there you go, Dave.
Oh, come on, my man. Big up, Mr. Arvan Berry. Big yourself up. Hotspur 82 says, I don't know about you, but I am dreading to visit United this weekend. Never. I relish to visit the big boys. Not better than taking them down, my man. Potter Mac's in the house. Big up, Potter Mac. Hope you're keeping well, brother. Dan Anthony's in the house. I hope you're keeping well. MA says tonight is irrelevant and Nuno will only care about the Man United game. Well, we'll see if that's reflected in the team he puts out, my man. James Jarvis is in the house as well. Big yourself up, brother. Dark Sun G21 says, use the vine and white today. They will give passion. I don't know if they'll be travelling, you know. I don't look. White might travel. I don't think the Vine will. Nuno seems to leave him at home an awful lot. I don't know why, but look, White I think might travel tonight, maybe on the bench, maybe to fill up one of them spaces. But look, outside Session, Winks, and Dele Alli being left at home, we do have a fully fit squad to pick from. So it'll be very interesting to see what the bench holds. Dark Sun G, but big yourself up, and I love the way he just keeps with the youth. I absolutely love it. What a man! What a man! Big up James Jarvis. And we have panel Spurs 72. Hope you're enjoying the cleaning, brother. I hope we're getting you through it. He says, panel, I have a question. Would you prefer to lose tonight and then win the next 5 games after, or win tonight but lose the next 5 games after? I'll be honest with you, I take B. I take B all day long. But it kills me going out of a cup. I don't want to throw any. In fact, I'm going to create option C, win all 6 games, Spurs 72. Because I never ever want to be Tottenham losing. So I'm taking option C, my man. Jack, what's your option?
It would go against everything I've said tonight, you know, especially when it comes to Nuno's own tenure and Nuno's own future here. But I would probably go for option B, where, option A, excuse me, where we lose tonight, win the next 5 games. I'd love to win against Man United. I think that would just be fantastic to have the bragging rights over that. Maybe get Ole sacked as well, be the one, the final push, you know, to push him off, you know, the Man United ledge there. And then as well, you know, you think about sometimes the Vitesse match, Everton match. I think Leeds is after that as well. Those could be fantastic victories to maybe get us ahead of the scum. You know, probably they might drop points in that time period. I probably would take option A if I had to pick. If you were to put a Levy gun to me, Spurs 72, that's what I would go for as option A. But that's a very hard decision. And I'm being kind of a hypocrite with that decision as well. But like that question, Spurs 72.
Big old Spurs 72. Dermot, what's your answer? A, B, or maybe C? I'll give you C too.
I'm going for C. I'm agreeing with you. I'm going for C.
Love it. Dermot,
we don't need to lose any games.
That's what I want to hear, Dermot. Absolutely love it. Phil, what option are you going with, A, B, or C?
C all day long. It's Tottenham. We need to win. We should win, and we're going to win. So win every game.
That's what I'm talking about. Josh, what are you going with, A, B, or C?
C straight away. Why should we? Why are we even thinking about losing a game? Why are we even thinking about it? Before we move on as well, I just want to touch on Darren D's comment when he says that Levy doesn't really want us to win trophies because it'll cost more money. If we win trophies, it's the only way to justify the costs of what we're running at. The season ticket cost, we're the highest in Europe. But with the way that we're playing, you cannot justify that. The players' wages, if the players don't play well, you can't justify the players' wages. There are so many outgoings that you cannot justify unless we are doing really, really well. And those are the two, I think for me, they're the 2 main ones. So, yeah. I mean, we need to win trophies. Whether Levy wants us to win trophies or not, we need to win trophies. That's the be all and end all. You need to be able to justify the cost.
Said because he did pay a $5 for this. What would you go, A, B, or C?
I said C.
C, 100%. There you are, Spurs 72. I gave everyone an extra option. I hope you're okay with that, my man. But big yourself up. Good question, though, but you won't catch me out with a question like that, lad. I'll never, ever predict.
I guess I'm the only one fell for
ever, my man. But big yourself up, Spurs 72. What a legend. Moving on, Jack, you know, Nuno, look, we know that Dele Alli and Winks have been left at home. Does he bring in the likes of a Davies? Does he bring in the likes of a Bergwijn and players, Sanchez, knowing what that risk brings tonight?
Davies, I don't really see playing, considering that guy was atrocious, and also his comments, last night, David. I mean, again, he blamed everything from the pitch to the referee to even our own misses as well, David. For losing that match, and I think he can't play Davies. I think he can't play him. He just can't risk it. Again, it's probably one of those other players like Dele and Winks. He just simply can't risk it if his career is on the line. But I do probably see a few of those Vitesse players. I see Sanchez coming in. I see probably Bergwijn coming in as well, because Bergwijn did, apart from that Vitesse match, he was, coming off good form for us. He was actually supposed to be kind of, hitting the ground running. He didn't do so against Vitesse, but I'd like to see him do it in this match. Maybe, back in, with another week of, kind of recovering and whatnot, from that pretty bad ankle injury. I'd like to think he'd be able to come back in and maybe prove us wrong. I think it's another great opportunity for Bergwijn to prove us wrong. So I would definitely see Bergwijn coming in. I definitely see Sanchez coming in. And then probably Brian Hill, again, should be given another feature, because I think, consistently has been one of our best players in some of these cup matches. Even when we've looked our worst, Brian Hill has always been kind of the bright light in it. And so I think Brian Hill, Bergwijn, and Sanchez are probably going to be, as well as Tanganga, are going to be some of the players that we saw from that Vitesse Cup match, probably keep their spot for this one.
Interesting. Dietrich Kane, just quickly, yeah, I would get the picture, and then I'll just cut Winks and Davies out, so it'd be perfect, lad. Dermot, same to you.
Craftsmanship.
If you were Nuno, look, Nuno is bringing everyone that started in the game. They are in the match day squad today. Everyone that started in the West Ham game. If you were Nuno, do you go with full strength side, or do you mix it up with some A and B, knowing that the risk it's going to bring?
That's a tough. I think you mix it up, because you got to have a thought for Saturday as well, because that is an important game. As much as tonight's important, Saturday's important. So I think you mix it up a bit. I wouldn't play Davis, that's for certain, because he probably wouldn't like the pitch. Sanchez, I'd rather play Roden with Dyer than Sanchez, because when Sanchez played on Thursday, he was not good at all. I mean, his heading ability was diabolical. So I'd rather play Roden with Dyer and give Roden a bit of a running game. But I think he's got to mix it up, and I think he's got to mix it up and take a chance. I think we've got a big, good enough squad to win tonight, but I think he's got to mix it up.
Interesting. I agree with that, especially United on the weekend. Big up, Daigle. I hope things are well with your brother, enjoying time with the family. And big up Isaac, Noah, Joseph, Levi, and Sophie as well. Big yourselves up. Big shout out to you guys. I hope you all have your Spurs jerseys on and you're ready for the victory today. But big up Brian Daigle and the whole Daigle household. I hope you are all keeping well. And enjoy the watch along at the We Are Tottenham TV studios.
Pass on some of the FIFA banter for us, Brian. Pass on some of the FIFA banter for us if you're seeing Ben and Sim as well. If you feel like, if you're not up for it, I know you got to be nice to them and whatnot. But Brian, if you're feeling a bit lucky, if you're feeling a bit dicey, might as well toss in a bit of banter for David and I.
Pass on a message from me as well. Say Ben Simeone out, please. Thank you.
But look, we are coming up with creative ways to keep going We Are Tottenham TV into this FIFA game, because they keep delaying it with more practice until the place. So, Brian, if you do turn up the studio, can you just turn up with this message for me? We Are Tottenham TV. We are going to batter you in FIFA. I cannot wait for it. So,
What
Brian,
platform is this on?
That message. What
platform is this? Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
Right, I can't join you. Sorry, I'm a PlayStation boy myself. I can't join you.
No, you have to have the Xbox, lad. It's all about the Xbox, my man.
See what Father Christmas brings me.
There you go.
Look, if Josh's girlfriend is listening, get him the Xbox, or his wife at this stage. I don't know. He has 3 kids with her, so long-term partner, whatever it is. Dark Sun G says, I saw in Jan we have Gooners and Blues back to back. I hope by then we can get 2 signings and then have a passionate victory against them, expecting revenge. I have no doubt we will get revenge over the Gooners at home. I have no doubt about it. Chelsea, look, it'll be a tough one. That's a tough ask, but there's no reason why we can't get the job done, Dark Sun G. I agree with you. Look, regardless of the fixtures coming up after that, we have to get buddies in here in January to help these boys out. We have to get more in to create more competition as well. Dark Sun G, I could not agree more. And I want revenge just like you. Don't worry, I have them dates pinned, my man. Big yourself up, Dark Sun G. What a legend. Let's see. No worries, my man. No worries. Look, yeah, Phil, if you were Nuno, what would you do tonight? It's a risky one. You can you can still even create a mix of a team, an A and a B. You still probably know what's going to happen with the B players bringing down the A players. You know what I mean? What do you do tonight?
I think he's going to do a mix of A and B. I think Davis will play tonight. I think Tanganga will play tonight. It's probably a good chance for Bergwijn to have a run.
Yeah,
I agree with the comments earlier. I think Son or Kane. So it's whichever way he wants to go with that. Skip and Højbjerg. Again, when we were at Wolves, he only played the one of them. We still looked okay, but I guess he had Dele in there then. So it's who else he's going to bring in. But I think he's just got to kind of mix it up. You know, it's probably a good chance for Lo Celso tonight to get his head in there, get his foot on the ball and start doing what he does at Argentina. My patience is wearing thin with him, and I'm sure a lot of Tottenham people are the same. It's like, you know, he came in on big money with a lot of potential. It's quality for Argentina, but it's just he's missing too much. But this is a game where he can put his foot on the ball, he can drift in and out, he can go past players, and then we can have a faster attack. But yeah, I think it's a definite mix up tonight. It's a definite mix between A and B. He can't risk too much ahead of Man United on Saturday. Not with a potential victory and everything that brings.
Interesting, 100%. But look, Josh, should Nuno just be prioritising United at the weekend, or should he send out the full 11 tonight and the full 11 again on Sunday? Because let's be honest, they didn't turn up last weekend, so probably have 2 more games.
No, there needs to be a bit of both. I think I think you need to prioritise them just as much as each other. In doing so, I think today would be crucial to bring on. It'd be crucial to I think to have a hybrid to incorporate some of the players from the Vitesse game, but then also play some of the squad that we played against West Ham. Mainly those that probably didn't perform as well, so it gives them a chance to, find their feet again. I want to see Harry Kane start because I want to see Harry Kane bag goals, because I genuinely think that if he can get goals against Premier League competition, which is what Burnley are, then the chances of him scoring against Man United will probably be they'll be greater. I think. There are some players I wouldn't play. I wouldn't play Moura because I think Moura is going to be pivotal to the way that we play on Saturday. I want to see Bergwijn start 100%. I also want to see Gil make an appearance at some stage in the game. I want to see. I'm not too sure about whether or not I want to see Romero play. I'd have Romero on the bench, but depending on how we perform, would determine whether or not we bring him on. What I do not want to see is us playing 2 holding midfielders, and if for some reason we go 1-0 down, Nuno keeps the 2 holding midfielders on instead of bringing on 1 attacking midfielder. I think today is all about the decisions that Nuno makes as to whether or not we're going to get a result today. And it will also be the same for Man United as well. Depending on the decisions that he makes today will depend on the squad that he selects for Man United. Yeah. But we need to prioritise them both as much as we do both as much as each other.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. I do think we need to prioritise with them. And look, I think Nuno will be right to mix it up A and B. Look, just for me, it's just about putting in. Look, and B, we do have some good players sort of in that B team who, for me, aren't really B team, but they're on the periphery. It's like a Brian Hill, a Tanganga. I'd probably give a Gio Lo Celso another chance. You do have some players there that you can bring in that will get the job done. So let's hopefully Nuno knows that. Let's hopefully. I
stand by what I said. I genuinely think you need to play Son at a number 10, bring Gil in on the left, and have Son feeding Kane in. That's what needs to happen, in my opinion.
Do you know what?
Not the other way around?
Yeah, I disagree. I'd put Gil as the number 10 and Son off the left because I think Son is better coming off the left-hand side.
I mean, Harry Kane feeding in Son and behind, you might think, with Harry Kane playing maybe a number 10.
That could also work. Harry Kane playing number 10 could also work. We've seen that before, and that does work. But I want to see Gil make a first team. I want to see Gil make a start. Like, I don't want to see him come off the bench. I want to see him make a start.
Yeah. And I think he will for this one.
And if he wants to play left wing, let him play on the left wing. Like, there's nothing that's going to shoot someone's confidence worse is when you play him out of position. And if he's confident on the left wing, play him on the left wing, for God's sake.
Yeah. Look, it's just unfortunate that he has Son to compete with on that left wing. You know what I mean?
I know.
That's the only thing. But look, we'll wait and see what happens. I'm a believer anyway, that's for sure.
I am as well. I genuinely believe he's going to be one of the best, if not the best left wing in years to come.
No, he will. I believe he's going to be absolutely quality, 100%. Jack, Chris Wood and Burnley, they've always been known for their aerial ability. They're a bullish style of play, and we have struggled to defend set pieces this season. How do we defend against Burnley's Route 1 style of play and physical football?
It is probably the most Route 1 physical style of football that's probably out there, you might say. And, it's honestly ugly to watch, when you think about it. But we actually, apart from the Antonio goal, we handled their set pieces against West Ham. And West Ham are the best set piece team in the entire Premier League. And apart from that huge lapse of concentration from all the guys at the near post and then Harry Kane as well, for the most part, we actually did quite well in defending them. And also, when you even think about it, Antonio is a very kind of bullish style. He would probably kind of I think he's better than Burnley, but he kind of suits that Burnley system to a degree. He plays very, very bullish. He plays a very, very physical style. To a degree, 2 teams in a row that they've been facing. West Ham play very physical with Souček, Declan Rice, all those guys, as well as Antonio. And then now in Burnley, which Burnley is just maybe a worse version of that kind of like physical style. And it's going to be even more Route 1 with probably 11 men behind the ball for the most part. And then just when they try to get out of their own half, even when they're pinned in their own half, they'll just try to launch it up to Chris Wood. Chris Wood probably knocks it down to Vidra or maybe someone else that might be partnering him up top. Potentially Jay Rodriguez, who I think has done quite well in the cup competition so far. So it is kind of quite predictable the way that Burnley play. At the same time, though, there's a reason why they've stayed in the Premier League for so long, because to a degree it kind of works for them and they're able to survive with that sort of Route 1 style. I think what you need, David, to maybe combat it is you need players that are actually decent in the air. If we see Dyer today, I will be worried because Eric Dyer, he lets so many crosses go over his head. He thinks someone else is going to be covering it for him. That's not going to happen when Chris Wood's going to be in the box. You probably want someone actually like Sanchez, because as much as Sanchez is a huge lapse of concentration at times, he's very good in the air when he's jumping up for it. He does usually outleap most people. He can be very commanding in that sort. We know that Romero is unbelievable in the air and winning headers and being the first guy to do it. You might say Romero Sanchez might be the best version, but to a degree, if you have someone like Sanchez, Romero, and Tanganga, those are 3 very aggressive and physical defenders that probably get a bit of a sick kind of feeling, a sick kind of a, David likes to say probably hard on from, those kind of physical plays, that kind of Route 1 style. Yeah. So I would say those would be the 3 players that I think would actually be well suited for this one. We have some players that are well suited for that kind of physical style, that kind of physical play, as well as Skippy, Højbjerg. To a degree, we're kind of well suited for it. And it's just kind of predictable the way Burnley play, but I will say there's a reason why it sort of works for them, and that's why they've stayed so long in the Premier League. So I am kind of worried about their aerial ability, because they do take advantage of set pieces. They have very set routines for their set pieces. They do work on them in training. So we have to realize that when they do get a set piece, that is their opportunity to score.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more, lad. I couldn't agree more. And Dermot, what back four would you put out there tonight to combat that? Look, me personally, I probably would put Dyer in there today. I actually think it'd suit a game like this today would suit him. But who would you put in the back four there today, Dermot?
I would play a back 3. Play Tanganga, Dyer, and Roden as a back 3. That's what I would do, and have the 2 wing backs. I know Josh disagrees, but that's how I would do. You can't be bullied. Well, if you play Burnley will bully you, so you can't be bullied.
If you're going to play a back 3, you need Romero in there. Romero is a back 3 player.
Do you not think he'd probably rest Romero for the United game?
Well, it depends. If he starts Jay Rodriguez, the best way to counter Jay Rodriguez breaking into the box would be to put Romero on and have him in Romero's pocket the whole game.
Why would you go, Dermot? What do you think the back 3? Maybe go a bit further on the back 3. Is it just maybe the best way to just handle that kind of physical, kind of bully kind of ball?
You got Tanganga, who's a strong player, so he would. Do you know what I mean? He's strong. I think Romero, yes, but I think you got to think of Saturday as well. But I do agree with that. You do need to play him, and I think Roden.
Yeah,
I think play them. It gets you out of Dyer, who can't head to save his life. Sanchez on Thursday heading ability was atrocious. Everything he was heading, it was just heading it straight back to the opposition. So my confidence in them two it's gone. So I think you need to give Roden the chance to hang guy and them 3, put 3 in the back. And that's my way of doing it, I think.
Good logic, actually. Well backed up.
And look, Phil, we know Burnley have caused us problems with their Route 1 style of play. Does this concern you tonight? That maybe how bad we are from set pieces. That maybe they do see a way of beating us tonight. Does it concern you? And how switched on do we have to be?
without a doubt, it concerns me, and it's been like it for since Toby and Jan years, isn't it? It's but I think I can't remember who was saying the other day that I think it was Lloris, wasn't it? He came out and he's like, we've had a week at home practicing and learning and doing all this. And then again, it goes back to my boring sentence of if you don't apply yourself in the game, you can practice all you like, but they've got to apply themselves. And that's the biggest point. The risk tonight. Every time they get a corner tonight or a free kick in their third, we're all going to be sat there going, "Oh my God, here we go! God, is this it?" But you just got to defend it properly. I think he'll do similar back four to last week. I think Dyer and Romero. I don't think either will play tonight, but if they do, it'll be Dyer. But Rodon and Sanchez, I think, because Sanchez he's quite a big guy. Rodon's good on the ball. I think he just needs some game time. But yeah, and the other one that got me, we were talking about obviously whether we're going to rotate the squad for Man U, and I don't want to sound like the world's biggest Liverpool fan because I'm not by any stretch, but they went out to Atletico Madrid last week, played their first 11 on Saturday. They played the same 11 other than a switcher at centre back. There was no one there going, "Oh, can Van Dijk play in? Can he play in Madrid and then can he play at Old Trafford?" It was like, and they, Atletico are as bruising as playing up in Burnley. Yeah, they're not the same quality, but you're going to get the same aerial threat and all of that. But they didn't do that. They went out and they went, "We're going to win that game, and then when we finish that game, we're going to pick our best team for the next game." And okay, they changed it around a bit, but if you do that, then does that not then give more incentive to the players that are like there or thereabouts to go, when I come on for my 20 minutes, I've got to show it even more because I've only got 20 minutes to show it, not the whole 90 minutes next week against Vitesse because I'm in the crap team. I don't know. And it goes back to that kind of mentality side of they've got to do more with what they've got, both the players and the management.
Yeah. Do you know what? Absolutely brilliant answer there, I have to say. I enjoyed that. Josh, what players would you put in the back tonight to be able to combat Burnley's big aggressive style of play? Because the only way they're scoring is look, long balls in, trying to get onto the second ball, maybe flick-ons, maybe win a set piece, get the ball into the box. How do we stop that from happening?
I think if you're gonna bench Romero, you need to go with a back four. I think a back three would be too risky without Romero in it. If you're gonna go for a back four, I'd have Tanganga on the right, Sanchez and Dyer probably in centre back, and then have Reggie on the left. I think that's probably the best way. If you're not going to rest Romero, you can put that back three in. Have Romero in the centre, have Tanganga on the right, and Dyer on the left, and then have Reggie on the left wing, and have Royale on the right wing. I think that's probably the best way to do it. But if do
you think Reggie starts tonight with Davies travelling?
I don't want to see Ben Davies travel.
In
the back of my mind, I'm going off. I want to see Davies stay on the bench the whole game. I do not want to see him on the pitch. I would rather he stayed at home, but unfortunately, we don't have a left back. We don't have a backup left back.
No, he can't play left back. Left back on the bench, lad. That's the expression.
He should be left back on his sofa at home. Or left behind, mate. He should wait left behind.
Yeah,
not left back, left behind.
Do you think Tanganga might start ahead of Royale tonight, though?
I think you need to see it. I think you need to. Tanganga's one of these players, like, not only is he really, really strong, the guy's like a brick shit out. You run into him, you're going to know about it. But not only that, he can press the ball up. He can push the ball up. Royale just seemed completely absent against West Ham.
Yeah.
Tanganga would have been the perfect like input in that situation. And that's why I want to see him start today. And depending on whether he plays well today will depend on whether or not he starts against United.
I agree with that. The truth sets you free. Big yourself up for the support, brother. And he says, show these boys some love. Great pre-match show. Big yourself up, my man. I really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate the love, brother. I hope you're keeping well, man.
Still 176 in the building right now. Still 176 in the building right now. If you are new, if you are maybe new to this channel, please hit that shiny big red button down below and hit that notification bell as well to never miss another pre-pump up to the pre-match pump up. So there you are, gentlemen and ladies as well. Also hit the like button as well if you have enjoyed it, like the Truth Sets Free has.
There you are. And Terry Wright, big yourself up, my man. I hope things are well. It's good to see you in. And Kenneth, the Tottenham Hotspur, my man, I hope things are well, brother. He says, big up, lads. Up the Spurs. Big up, my man.
On.
Hope you have the beers ready. You know, you have the feet up on the couch, or maybe it's a recliner, kick back, and enjoy the game, my man. But big up, Kenneth. It's good to see you, brother. I'm absolutely loving the positivity, my man. I'm absolutely loving the positivity. Jack, look, Maxwell Cornier, he might be on the bench tonight. I don't think he will start. He's the top scorer in the Premier League. He supposedly he's returning from cramp injury after Southampton match. Not sure he will start. Dwight McNeely has the most shot-creating actions in the Burnley squad with 25, and players dribbled past. He would have the second most in our Spurs squad in chances created, and will be tied for the most players dribbled past in our squad. So basically, what I'm asking, Jack, is should we be more aware of Burnley than usual, because they do have more creativity and they do look a bit more dangerous than what they have done in previous years against us?
It's a good question, Dave. And the reason why is, I kind of go against what I just said earlier. Burnley kind of have played the same way more or less for a very long time. But now that they brought in Maxwell Cornet, that is a bit more of something different than they're used to, something that is a bit more creative, something that is a bit more sparky, you might say, a bit pacier as well. They're not known for their pace, Burnley, and Maxwell Cornet does have that. Dwight McNeil, I've kind of been a secret fan of him to a degree. I kind of actually like what he does. He has fantastic set piece delivery. He has fantastic delivery in general. He can kind of hit a banger from outside the box as well. And David, if you kind of compare his stats to our own stats in our own squad, he actually would be way high up there in terms of players dribble past, as well as in just shot creating actions, which are just chances created, basically. So that does mean they have two different players this time. They used to just have one, and that was Dwight McNeil, the guy who would create the chances for them for Chris Wood and whatnot. And now they have two with Cornet and Dwight McNeil. It doesn't mean we should be scared, but at the same time, that does mean that Burnley do have a few more options, or a couple more options than they had in previous years, in order to create something out of nothing, in order to maybe thread in a through ball, in order to even give that perfect delivery into the big Chris the Goat Wood. So personally, David, I think they are a bit more dangerous than in maybe years past. So I kind of would go against what I said earlier about they do play mostly the route one kind of style, the very bully kind of style. But with now Dwight McNeil having a pretty decent season so far, despite all the defeats they've had, he's actually been playing quite well. And then as well as Maxwell Cornet has been kind of banging in the goals, coming on as a sub, or as even, starting as well. So they have a few more dangerous options than the likes of Chris Wood and Vidra and Jay Rodriguez. It's kind of actually coming from elsewhere this season. So it's kind of the same old Burnley, but it's a bit of maybe a Burnley with a bit more flair. And I can't even believe I said that out loud.
And look, Dermot, I do agree. To be honest, I do think they have better attacking players than maybe in years previous. But they haven't won a game in 9 games, Dermot, in the Premier League. They've only bet Rochdale once. What do you think is what Burnley do you think will show up tonight? Do you think we'll see the one that showed up against Rochdale, Dermot, or do you think we'll see the one that the one that's been shown up in the Premier League?
I hope it's the one that's been shown in the Premier League, because Burnley's not an easy place to go, especially on a Tuesday windy night. Burnley is not an easy place to go. We've slipped up there before. So I hope it's the one on the Premier League, but they may see this as a chance for a cup for themselves, to breed confidence into themselves for the Premier League. So it's not going to be an easy game. Whatever Burnley turn up, it's still not going to be an easy game. It's not going to be a walkover. But, we just have to not be bullied. And Burnley do have bullied us over the years. So Burnley do have that in them. So we just don't need to be bullied. But I hope it's the Premier League Burnley that turns up, not the Rochdale Burnley.
Yeah, I hope so too. And Phil, what's your thoughts ahead of Burnley tonight? Do you think they are more dangerous than the usual threat they pose, or?
No, I just they're good at what they do. They play that certain brand of football, but if we look at it, if one of the top sides, so if a Man City or someone was going there, we wouldn't be going, Burnley are going to get something tonight. This is by far for them a second-rate competition that they're not overly fussed with. They need Premier League survival. That's where their cash is. So Burnley will do tonight what they do. They'll turn up. They'll have a lot of heart. They'll do the best they can. But you should have, the class should tell in the end. If we turn up, we should be doing what we need to do.
No, I agree with that. MS, with the super chat, Josh, maybe you can help me with this. He says, Burnley, Dr. Tottenham will see you. You need help. See Dr. Tottenham. What would
Loving
you
the
say?
confidence. Loving the confidence, man. Loving the confidence. It'll be like we need to do these. We need to do both of them over, really, don't we? We need to do both of them. We need a solid win against Burnley and a solid win against Ole Gunnar shoe shiner, so we can go and open up his little shoe shining business and stay out of football. I think that's we need a decent result. But I'm loving the confidence there, MS. Loving that.
No, look, MS, what I'll say to you is look, my man, be confident. Tonight we're going to win. You can come back in after the watch long and say to me, David, thank you so much for giving me that optimism I needed going into this game. You know, we won. You were, you know, and thank you so much for making me believe. MS, no, look, honestly, though, I can understand it. Yeah. Look, you know, the Dr. Tottenham tag will always be there until things change, my man. So I can understand it. But all I'd say is just grab your Spurs jersey, give it a little cuddle, give it a little kiss, then wear it. And then, you know, you'll believe again. That's what I'll say. But big up, MS.
Big up, MS. I think the Burnley fans probably love me after my answer, but then the rest of the panel, you know, absolutely shot down Burnley, which I love. You know, I'll be more the devil's advocate for the Burnley.
The Burnley fans will be all clamoring to get you on now. You know, they're like, oh, this guy's saying stuff we've never heard about.
He's hyping us up. No one ever hypes us up.
Absolutely love it. Kenneth, Tottenham Hotspur, he says it's Wednesday. It doesn't matter whether it's Wednesday or whether it's Monday. Put the feet up, kick back, get the beers out. Why not even go out and start a little barbecue? Get them burgers on, get them big sausages on it. You know, get some fried onions going, get the buns out, slap some ketchup on them, and just enjoy your day, my man. It doesn't matter what day it is the week. There's no rules to say you can't enjoy it, my man. So big yourself up, Kenneth. Hope you're keeping well, brother. Hope you're keeping well.
I made that mistake this morning too. I thought it was Tuesday. I made that mistake this morning. Genuinely, it just shows, you know, kind of Tottenham Hotspur just shows how much Spurs disorient us. You know, we can't even see straight anymore sometimes after some of these defeats. But once we win today, I'll remember it's a Wednesday. I'll remember it's a time to enjoy the Spurs and get my week all situated again. But big up, kind of Tottenham Hotspur. Big yourself up. No,
big yourself up, my man. Big yourself up. So look, guys, we have about 15 minutes left of the preview. So guys, get all your thoughts into the chat. Look, Jack, you know, last year we made the final under the guidance of Jose. Can we get there and even go one better under the guidance of Nuno?
I think I probably have to tune back to my, you know, my Nuno kind of scout report from a long time ago on this, you know, on this channel, David. And I might actually say, you know, with Nuno, he actually has a decent cup, you know, kind of record. He took Wolves very far in the FA Cup before. He was able to take Valencia decently, you know, as well, you know, in the Champions League. And also as well, I think with Wolves, right, he went very, very far in the Europa League. If we do remember that back times then, he actually did quite well in the Europa League and then just somehow crashed out. You know, I think it was to Sevilla who ended up, you know, winning the competition that year. So that's probably no shame in that. So I'd like to think, and just being really maybe absurdly optimistic, I'd like to think that Nuno is in fact actually, you know, someone that is kind of decent in these cup competitions. Of course, in that last Vitesse match, he got a lot wrong. He really did get a lot wrong. And I will admit that. But at the same time, if you do look back at his, you know, days at Valencia, if you look back at his days, even at Paços de Ferreira, you know, not Paços de Ferreira, I believe Rio Ave, his original club at Rio Ave, he actually had decent cup results as well. He's done well in them, David. He's won a few Portuguese cup competitions. He's won, you know, or he's gone pretty far with Wolves in the past as well. I'd like to think that he can carry that on to Spurs, and hopefully Spurs doesn't poison that ability of his in these cup competitions as well. The defensive pragmatic Nuno, you kind of want to enjoy it, you know, when it comes to cup competitions, I would say, you know, because it does mean, you know, we might not concede so many goals, and that's what you probably need in, you know, a cup competition. You can't go all, you know, balls to the wall, David. You do have to think a bit pragmatically. We know Nuno is a very pragmatic thinker, so I'd like to think and just be a bit optimistic, a bit delusional that he actually might, you know, use a bit of that cup winning form and bring it over to Spurs.
100%, I hope so. MS, look, you know me, if we lose, I will be crying, lad. It's just the sort of fan I am. I'm pumped up before the game, and if we lose, I'm crying after the game. I can't help it, my man. I can't help it. So
give us the big I told you so, MS.
It's a weekly occurrence. It's a weekly occurrence. Mr. Harris will say to me, I'm not watching Spurs next week, and then the following game, I'm ready, let's go.
I can't help it. I love the disappointment, I have to say. I love it.
Addicted to it. It's like crack.
Stop, MS. I hope to see you after the game regardless, my man. Big yourself up. Dermot, can we get to Wembley again?
Of course we can. Why can't we? Well, of course we can. We're going to win it.
Have you seen the teams left in the tournament, mate?
I don't care. We'll still win it. The last time we were playing Burnley, we got to the final. Right, 2009. Ramos won his first season. Won us the League Cup in 2008. Nuno can do the same.
There you go.
You know, I'm that confident.
I think you're overestimating Nuno's experience, pal.
Yeah, I'll probably fall flat on my face and probably make a complete deluded mug after this now. But we will win, and we'll reach the final, and that's the end of. The name's on the trophy.
I absolutely love the confidence. Absolutely love it. So that's 2 people who believe we can get to the final. Phil, do you want to make it a trio?
What answer do you want? The real answer? I mean,
give me whatever comes to your head. Give us the real answer.
There's a lot of quality still in there, but are we out of our depth in this competition? No. It goes back to what we said. If they want it and they turn up and they play, there's no one there that you'd be looking at going, cool, no, we can't do them. Yeah, Man City probably favourites, but, you know, we've beaten them once. You know, maybe on our day at Wembley, maybe it'll be a nice revenge. So there's no reason why we can't. They've just got to want it and they've got to go and deliver it.
Muted, Dave.
Sorry, it's amateur hour here. My bad. Absolutely love it, though, Phil. Absolutely love it. Josh, can we get there again?
I do not want to give you an answer because I do not want to jinx it. I want to remain optimistic, and I want us to take each day as it comes. I think we need to approach each fixture single-handedly and discuss and think about the fixture at hand. However, if we beat Burnley tonight, because
you don't think we have been jinxing it every time?
This is the thing. I don't want to be the one to because I'll feel guilty. I don't want to be the one to jinx it. If we beat Burnley tonight, bring on Sunderland away. Bring on Sunderland away. Let's get to the stadium alive. Let's get that place rocking. Let's get the victory. Let's get through to the semis and let's fucking win.
If anybody's been jinxing it, it has been me and David. It really has been. It has been me and David especially. So I don't think you should worry. You shouldn't worry.
Yeah, I'd even take Preston if they win tonight.
Look, we win tonight.
Liverpool reserves, wouldn't it? So
yeah,
there's always that. But
you look at the teams left, innit?
We win tonight. We're 2 games off a final, the quarterfinal and semi-final, or is it 2-leg semi-final? Still, I can't remember. But we're at 2 or 3 games
this year.
Huh?
It's 2 legs this season.
So 2. So if we win tonight, we are 3 games away from getting back to Wembley. Look, I know we lost last year, but it was an amazing day out. It was amazing for Spurs fans to have something to look forward to. It was amazing for everybody. You know, and I really, amongst all the shite we had to put up last year, we all had that excitement for the League Cup final. And it would be nice to get that back again. And look, I always believe, look, every dog has its day. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if we can turn up for these games, just run more than the opposition, want it more than the opposition, you know, show the fight in the dog. You know what I mean? I believe we can get there. There's no reason why we can't. We're Tottenham Hotspur. We used to pick up trophies every decade. Let's start getting back to that. That's what I want to see. Jack, look, you know, chances created and goals have been a major issue under Nuno's tenure. Can our attacking players find a way to work together and start producing more chances and goals? Or is it something we need to address in the market when it opens?
It is something we need to address in the market. I think nobody can deny that. We do need to replace, and we haven't. And, you know, it's kind of crazy to still keep saying this, but we do need to replace Christian Eriksen. You know, over at our second channel, I've given you plenty of options on players who we could replace Christian Eriksen with. But then, David, this is Burnley at the end of the day. And even I think it was brought up earlier by Kudos, like, lads, this is Burnley. So we do know that we're going to have plenty of the ball. We do know that, you know, they're going to sit behind the ball plenty. That means creativity needs to come through. We need to be able to play in between their lines. We need to be able to bring it out wide and put in good balls into the box for whoever is our striker. We need to rely on our wingers. We need Brian Hill to step up this match, maybe cause a bit of chaos. We need maybe Steven Bergwijn, who I do anticipate playing this match, you know, to bring a bit of chaos, you know, beat his man, you know, take on his man and put some shots on target. The creativity needs to happen. It's not like we're going to be really put under the cosh, David, in terms of high pressing, in terms of, you know, maybe them trying to win the ball high off of us, you know, high on the pitch. You know, we are going to be playing against a team that's going to be sitting back, low block, very defensive, very organized. That means creativity just has to come through. If creativity doesn't come through in those situations, you will kind of look at, you know, this team and think, that is a big worry sign, because despite the low block being sometimes a very effective way of, defending, it does actually mean then that you have to rely on your genius, your intelligence, the way the attacking patterns and triangles work out, the way your passing patterns work out. It's basically just a good opportunity for maybe this team to find out a way to break down a team. I mean, it's not going to be a Liverpool that's going to be high pressing us. It is going to be a team that is going to be sitting back, waiting for us to make a mistake. And so hopefully we'll have players there that won't make that mistake, and we'll be able to find each other in dangerous situations. Yeah,
100%, man. Alan, just quickly enjoy it now. Come back to me, once we finish ahead of you this season. Because, look, I'm sure, the whole squad right now, Dave Sullivan and goal took them to their strip clubs. They're probably still there, throwing fivers around, my man. So, look, don't worry about it. See me at the end of the season once.
Do you know what? I actually want you lot to beat City tonight. So we get you in the final. And then when we absolutely run you fucking ragged around Wembley and we smash you, then come back and say that, because we would have won a cup final, unlike West Ham.
Also, Alan, I think I just spoke to Lost and Found. Alan, just spoke to Lost and Found. Seemed like a lot of people were leaving behind their bubble, blow sticks, behind, so if you want to get them back, just call security. You'll get your bubble blow sticks back.
It's a sad state of affairs, though, when you have someone who just got his European passport to be able to go on holidays this year. You know what I mean? Coming in, bantering you. West Ham fans have never been on holiday before, and now all of a sudden they're traveling around Europe thinking they're the big boys. I can't wait till he heads to some of the...
They keep losing to Astra fucking Gogo.
Oh, absolutely. I hate them. So much. Honestly, and actually, Alan, even better, I'll be there at the home game. So if you are around, make sure you come and say it to me then, my man, because I will be there. Because I bet you won't show once you lose, brother. I bet you won't. But look, Dermot, same to you, my man. How can we get our attacking force, to come together and really start creating chances and taking them?
It will need to be fixed in the transfer market in January. I agree with that. But I think you need to bring in the players like Gill and bring in some of the younger players. Either play Gill in the left or Gill in the number 10. I think that's where he will end up eventually. I think Gill will end up as a number 10. And I think once Kane gets going and him and Son get connected again, I think there'll be no stopping them. I think it's a Kane has played a lot of football even before the season started. And I think with Son as well, he's been away a lot on international duty. So I think they will click, and once they click, they'll get going.
Absolutely love it. So we'll save this one for Josh. We'll go to Phil first. Phil, how do we get our attacking guys going?
It's just a bit of patience. The talent's there, the quality's there. They've just got to click at the same time. As much as we didn't create masses on Sunday, there were 3 chances we had for a little cross into the box. We could have been 3-0, and I know we didn't do it, and it's easy to look back, but they're not that far off the pace. They've just got to step up and go for it. But I think Jack's right. What we're missing is Christian Eriksen. I think we got used to how good he was, and we didn't realise how good he was until we're looking around now going, my God, can you imagine having him now? A young 25-year-old Christian Eriksen in his peak at Tottenham. Oh. What a difference he made to our side. And he played every game. We didn't really rest him very often. He was always there. Yeah. He was chances, he was shots, he was free kicks, and he'd have a little bit here and there, and he couldn't tackle, but you didn't want him tackling. You wanted him getting his foot on the ball and knocking it through to the front people, and it gave them the license. And he made a lot of bad players very good in those days. Yeah. So somehow, faith in Paratici, he's got to go and find another Christian Eriksen from somewhere. And hopefully that's what he's out doing. He's doing his homework and he's getting someone sorted, ready for, the soonest opportunity.
Couldn't agree more with that. And look, Norwegian Kenneth he says Josh is like him. So Norwegian Kenneth to English Kenneth. He does say, big up Josh on the panel. You were like me, lad.
I'll take that. If you're a diehard Spurs fan like myself, and sometimes your thoughts can be a little bit diluted. I'll take that, mate. But the thing is, you have to be faithful to this team. You have to get behind them, because if you don't, you're only going to end up with a life of misery. I think. Even if you do get behind them at the moment, you've got a life of misery. But you have to go into this game positive. You have to go into every single game with your head held high and expecting the best. I've completely changed my mindset because I used to go into games expecting nothing because that way I didn't get disappointed.
And then you found the Irish Hotspur.
Since I was literally just about to say that. Since I've been coming on here, I love coming on this. I love coming on here because I go into every game like, yes, we can win this. We're gonna have it. But no, seriously, bring on the wet spam at Wembley, please. Bring them to Wembley. London Derby Cup final. Let us run rings around you. You won't be blowing your bubbles then, will you? No.
Absolutely love it. Big up, Kenneth. Really appreciate the support, brother. Look, guys, I'm just going to bring up a starting lineup, one that me and Jack picked earlier on. Just going to bring it up. Let us know in the comments on that whether you agree or disagree. But time is running. I do have to head over to We Are Tottenham TV for the pre-match bump up. Yep. So I'm just going to bring up the predicted lineup. Then I'm going to go around, get everybody's score prediction and let them know where people can find them. And then we will end it off. But the team we picked today is Galini in goals. Even though I don't want to see Galini, I'd be more comfortable with Hugo Lloris. We have Tanganga at right back, which I think is a real possibility of happening. Sanchez and Dyer, I believe, is a real possibility of happening. The reason why we've gone Dyer and not Romero is purely because for some reason managers seem to favour Eric Dyer, and I think Romero, give him the rest and let him get G'd up for United. We've gone with Reguilon at left back just purely because we can't bring ourselves to put the other guy in. We have Højbjerg and Skip in midfield. We've gone with Lo Celso on the account today, giving Ndombele a rest, and plus he didn't perform against West Ham. We've gone with Bergwijn one side, Gill the other, and Kane up top. But it could either be Kane or Son. The reason why we've done that is we don't see the two of them starting together. I'd be surprised if it does happen. Maybe it will. But look, this lineup wasn't absolutely impossible to predict this time. We got the last one absolutely spot on. But this one, it feels like it was an impossible achievement to do. So, guys, hope you enjoy that predicted lineup.
I believe that's going to be the lineup. That's actually pretty solid.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I'd expect. That's exactly what I'd expect from tonight.
It's a solid one, but I don't know whether it will happen or not. Honestly, me and Jack were racking our brains picking it.
I think the only thing I'd change is Galini and goal. I do not want him getting those 15 appearances because I don't want to buy him. I don't think he's good enough.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that so far. But look, guys, we do have to end off because I do have to head over to We Are Tottenham TV for the pre-match pump-up, starting at 6:15. Make sure you tune in, get the crash helmets ready because we're going to go absolutely Buckeye over there. But look, Jack, what's your score prediction and where can everybody find you?
It's the dangerous one, David, and it's the one that never seems to happen. But 2-0, that's what I'm going for. It's going to be, a clean sheet for the boys. Burnley are going to really struggle to create anything. And people, they can go find me over at our second channel, our sister channel, Flat Cap Euro Talk. And that's basically the channel where you will be able to find any of those answers that maybe we've spoken about today. Who do we replace Christian Eriksen with? Who do we get under a Levy budget? Which players could we get, maybe to be the better backups? Which players can we get that maybe are the backup strikers that we've all been looking for, all been needing? All those questions can be answered over at Flat Cap Euro Talk. It's basically your second Spurs home. It's that place, especially when you're thinking about transfers, when you like to think about what players are doing well outside of, Spurs, outside of also the Premier League, especially. Head on over there. You have a lot of questions that have been on your mind. Definitely answered over there.
So there you are, guys. Make sure you get over and check out Flat Cap Euro Talk, guys. Make sure you smash the subscribe button. It's just literally 10, 15-minute videos you can click on and have a look at all the players that Tottenham are linked with. Absolutely brilliant stuff by Jack over there, I have to say. So do get over there and check it out, guys. Jack, thanks very much for giving up the time today, my man. I appreciate it. Dermot, my man, what's your score prediction and where can people find you?
I'm going for 3-0 tonight. And if Kane scores, I'm going for a Kane hat-trick. You can also find me on Twitter, Tottenham Tantrum. I'm also on YouTube, Tottenham Tantrum Gold, where there's all matches, review of the season, documentaries, everything to do with Tottenham.
No, so there you are, guys. Get over to Tottenham Tantrum on Twitter if you have a Twitter account. Smash that follow button and Tottenham Tantrum on Gold if you want so much about some of the teams gone by in previous decades. Absolutely brilliant stuff there by Dermot. Phil, my man, what's your score prediction and where can people find you?
2-0 tonight. I think for once it's going to be comfortable. Looking forward to it. I'm not really on YouTube. I just kind of come on your shows, and I kind of watch everything that's going. So I watch with Brian, I watch yourself, watch Jack, watch the, We Are Tottenham TV. So just in the comments and around, really.
No, but look, you're an absolute, even though you don't really have a YouTube or whatever else, you're an absolute pleasure to have on the panels. I think your insights are absolutely fantastic. So big yourself up and thank you for your time this afternoon, Phil. And look, Josh, what's your score prediction and where can people find you, my man?
I reckon we're going to win. I don't think it's going to be a clean sheet. I think we're going to win 3-1. Which is better than what I said yesterday, because I said yesterday it would be a 1-1 draw and we'd win on penalties. But no, I reckon 3-1 to us, and it'll be quite a. We'll concede from a set piece, I think, and then we'll switch the game up a little bit. You can find me on Josh the Tottenham Guy, my own YouTube channel that I've only recently started up. I've got a series on there called Player Profiles. Second episode is out now about Lewis Holtby. Go follow me over on Twitter, Josh RGNHD. It's my name on the stream. I've got a poll up there for the next, and basically it's asking what the next subject of the Player Profile series should be. There's 4 options on there. Go and drop me a vote. Let us know what you think. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
So there you are, guys. Get over to Josh's channel, the Tottenham Guy, guys, and make sure you check it out and smash that subscribe as well, guys. But look, there you have it. There's your pre-match preview. I hope you really enjoyed the build-up to today's game. I hope we have you absolutely pumped up, fired up for today's game. My score prediction, I'm going to go 4-0 Tottenham. I think tonight could be the night where we unleash, bring on United at the weekend. Look, don't ask why I've gone with that. I just go to the first number that comes into my head. So that's what I've gone with today. Look, I do truly believe we'll beat Burnley and beat them up bad. As Jack says, we'll smash the Dyche out of them. At Ginger Homer Simpson better be ready to take a trash in. I can't wait for it. But look, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate every single one of you. I really appreciate the support with the super chats. Everyone smashing that like button. If you are new, make sure you do smash that subscribe button. See you over at We Are Tottenham TV for 6:15, starting with the pre-match bump up. And then everybody back here for the watch along, starting at 7:30. And look, after the game, we'll all be enjoying ourselves talking about the quarterfinals. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, Spurs.
Come on, Tottenham.
Bring on Sunderland away.